Hey everyone, this video is going to be explaining how the Retailtraderz band functions and how I personally interpret its data. We're going to be looking at, to begin, QQQ on the intraday 5-minute time frame. The open is extremely bearish, but what we can see with the band that you would not normally be able to see is the band is flattened here, and when the band is flattened, it likes to act as a level. The band is flattened here, and we get a very nice projection off of price, which is something that price likes to do when the band is flat. So we can see the band is flat, does a nice bounce. The band is flat, does a nice bounce. This is something that price action sometimes likes to do. Something else that is of note, we see price in a downtrend, and we see the band moving down. However, something that you can notice, when the band moves beneath the price here, and the price is moving up, we can see that is the start of an uptrend. That's just something to note. Let's move on to another day. There was a particular one back here where there was a lot of chop that I wanted to look at. So we can see on the open it's flat, which means this likes to act like a place for the price to bounce. And here we can see it does a little bounce. However, you would probably get stop lossed out here. And now you can see, just like in the previous example, when it crosses above, it can start a new trend. And in this case, so it's a very choppy day, right? This is almost like a flag or a pennant. We see it breaks above, and now from here it's chop. But what we can visually see is when the band is flat, it acts as a spot that the price has difficulty getting through. So we can see it's flat here, tries it 1, 2, 3, 4, tries it 4 times, and then it goes up, right? You can see here, it tries it once, it breaks through, and then it comes back through. But here we can see, I mean, it really tried when it was flat here. It was trying as hard as it could to break under, and it just couldn't. It did a push up, and then did another push down. That's sort of the nature of the game. Now, let's look at another way that we can utilize this. There was a previous day back here that was a fine example of this. Alright. This is a pretty common visualization of an uptrend day, a day where price is pretty much steadily straight up all day. And something of note here, we start off down here, we'll do that same thing, where the band is moving down, the price is moving down, and the price moves above the band while the band is moving down, and that is the start of the uptrend. That's something of note. Now, once we're in this uptrend, we can see, visually, we can see that the band is making steps, right? It's moving up, flattening, moving up, flattening. And when it makes steps like this, it likes to pull back to the steps and bounce. This is something that sometimes happens in an uptrend that I like to capitalize on. Next, we're going to take a look at Tesla. This is another chart on the 5-minute time frame, and we can see it opened, the band was flat, and it acted like resistance. Taps it once, twice, and it can't break it, and it forms a downtrend. But we see that same pattern where price is moving down, the band is moving down, and when it continues above it, that's the start of the uptrend where it moves all the way up. And alongside what we saw in QQQ with the uptrend days, that's something that likes to happen with Tesla as well. We can see it starts, and then it does a tap, and then it does the trend. This is a small example of it. I'm sure in the past couple days, yeah, right here, there were another example, right? We can see step, 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 step. It's just making these continual steps. And we can see pull back, huge push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up. This is something that happens occasionally when the band is like this. But also, it can do stuff like this. This is another perfect example, right? We see pulls down, and it does get a little start for a bull trend, and this could trick you out. Then it does the steps, and pulls back, and you're stop lost, right? There's no indicator that's 100% on the market, but this indicator hopefully visualizes data in a way that can help you. Here's another use of the indicator. This is another trend day. We can see step, 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 And along those steps, the price likes to walk. Now I'm going to go to SPY on the 1-day time frame. This is something that I really like to use to read price action on the 1-day time frame. In my personal trading, I like to go from the 1-day time frame down to the 4-hour time frame and then down to the 5-minute time frame. That is how I personally execute my bias in my trades and determine levels. Now on the 1-day time frame, something that is fairly easy to meet the eye is it does the same thing, steps, right? This is something common that it likes to do. We can see the steps, a pullback, a bounce, a pullback, a bounce, a pullback, a bounce. And then here does a pullback, a little bounce, and you get stop loss, right? That's just part of the game. Indicators, they don't work 100% of the time. That is part of trading, risk management. However, there are, of course, plenty of opportunities where it did work. And now, even recently, as I'm recording this, I took a trade right here, and these options went about 50%. I'm still holding those even. And you can see this is pretty common on SPY. This is the daily chart. You can see it breaks above. Now we're in the start of an uptrend. Tap, 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 tap. And then here you get stop loss, right? All trends eventually have to end. Next, we're going to take a look at the daily chart on KO. This is something that I personally have been trading. And we can see, again, the steps, right? We see these steps. And KO, because it's smaller than the indices, has a lot of chop at these levels. But you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 5 bounces, and then you get one that is a definite stop loss. And even as I record this, there's a bounce going on. It's fairly simple, it's easy to understand, and I hope that this video has helped you, and I thank you for your time and for your interest. Have a good day.